In an ideal world, the workplace would be enjoyable, filled with happy and productive employees. Furthermore, these employees before, during, or after work would incorporate physical activity and healthy food choices in their daily routines. Unfortunately, this picture-perfect world is nowhere close to how real world actually is. The reality is that the majority of people are not engaged in any kind of physical activity. Additionally, people are eating less and less at home, costing them more and more, and filling them up with empty calories. People today are having trouble finding time in their day to fit these important lifestyle concepts. This is why our nation is in the middle of an obesity epidemic.
At its simplest, obesity results from people consuming more calories than their bodies burn. But it's a more complex problem than that. People didn't decide to become overweight. Their weight gain is a consequence of complicated changes in the environment, where food is more readily available and opportunities for physical activity are lacking.
Why do I think it's growing specifically is because people are seeing the value. I always think it's money, or it's always money first, and it's always going to be that way. So we're getting a decrease in insurance costs, and numbers a little bit further, and employees are more productive. They're not out as much. There's less sick days. Blah, blah, blah. So of course that's always going to promote a company to improve or to engage in worksite wellness. But ultimately, I mean, we look at the United States with the obesity epidemic up, above 50%. I mean, people need some serious help. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. Companies are like, hey, we can save money. And people are saying, hey, I'm really out of shape and I'm getting sick and I need help. I think that's really what's contributing to it. It's really fulfilling the contract. Since we're outsourced, we are contractually obligated to meet certain criteria for Paramount, and from site to site, those requirements can be vastly different. So at least from our standpoint, really, it's provided a really nice facility. We provide training, we provide 20 group classes, and really just maintaining the facility.
Worksite wellness programs also emphasize proper nutrition and taking time to eat at home with your family. Cooking homemade meals also helps employees save money and consume calories that are nutrient dense. The combination of both physical activity, nutrition, and being with your family enables employees to be happy, less stressed, lose some weight, and most importantly, be healthy.
From an insurance standpoint, we know that they get deductions, and we know if they offer a certain amount of activities, they're running a fitness facility, there's certain financial incentives from insurance companies. We have a site in Amgen, which is up in Thousand Oaks, and that site in particular is a very, from what I hear, is a very high demanding site. They have 2 nutritionists on staff. They have physical therapists on staff. The gym is open 7 days a week. They run field sports outside. They run group activities off and on the campus. So +1 is very in depth with them. And I believe that's an attempt because, for example, Amgen believes and knows that it actually will improve their workforce performance, less sick days, increased return on investment. Obviously, it's growing. I mean, I can just speak from +1 standpoint. We're anticipating being over 200 locations next year, and I think currently we're at 177. It's almost every week we're adding sites, and it's insane to me because there must be some big financial incentives for companies to do this. Obviously, I know the physiological benefits and improved immune system, employees that feel better and move better and can perform more work. But just alone looking at Plus One, and we have had rapid growth. In the last since 2008. I mean, in this downturn economy, we're growing as a company. So I think that speaks volumes for the growth of Worksite Wellness. The field is only getting bigger.
The wellness program for us has actually been extraordinarily successful. But starting in the second year, our costs really started to come down. And frankly, last year, our third year, we actually saw a reduction in our cost per employee. So if you look at the last years 2 and 3, the last 2 years of full years in our program, and so far this year, year 4, we're actually only running about 75% of our budget.
With a nation in the middle of an obesity epidemic, it is an obligation as an employer to integrate a worksite wellness program within your company. As an employer, your question should not be, why should I implement a worksite wellness program? But rather, why should I not reduce my health insurance costs, making my employees happy and healthy?